Welcome. So, I was a bit worried here at first. I couldn't get the internet connection to work. It's Murphy's, but finally it worked. So, we're ready. Okay. So, just a quick background of where I come from and who I am. I've been working with IT, and I'm from the infrastructure side. So working a lot with data center solutions since the past 18 years. So I have a good experience there. But this is kind of a new environment for me. This is, well, don't know much people here from the Java world. So I guess that's quite a bad start. First, I don't have a Mac computer, so you just think, oh, who is that guy running Windows? Then I say, oh, infrastructure guy. Oh, now I really hate him. Yeah. Yeah, because we built managed services through the past, and the last was from 24 Solutions. Well, more traditional server side managed services, and always seen this struggle from you guys, the developer side, who want to be more flexible to create your own environments and close them when you don't need them anymore and stuff like that. So and in the past I've seen many of the struggles that comes with compliance as well. I worked a lot with PCI DSS, for example, and all the requirements there that actually slows the process down and then makes it harder for you guys to actually get your environments up and running fast and so on. So my interest right now, the things I like that I work currently with, that I'm going to show you a bit around today, is I work a lot around the DevOps process. I talk a lot with developers and see how we can improve that. I work a lot with Jelastic. I don't know, has anyone seen or been in contact with Jelastic before? No? Good. Because then it will be a good session today. Because I'm going to do a demonstration with Jelastic, but that's a great platform for actually hosting Java code and do it very easily, and you have full control yourself. OpenStack is also something that I'm very interested in and do a lot of work with. Gigaspace is another platform for high performance Java implementations. Anyone that work with Gigaspace or been in contact with Gigaspace? Okay, great. And also everything around performance, to actually build a platform that you can have predictable performance in. So the platform we are building right now for Jelastic and the Gigaspace platform, for example, is pure solid state disk all the way through. So it's much easier for us to actually limit and give access to a lot of performance and do that in a very predictable way. So that's why we actually started Elastics, the company Elastics. And the core function of what we will do is actually provide great Java platforms, cloud-based platforms for hosting your Java code. The first part, the easy one, the module there, is actually based on the Jelastic software that I will show you a demo of today. And then we have the extreme platform that is based on the Gigaspace infrastructure on the platform. And also we have some developers that actually can help you and to provide and help you to live and develop your code in the platform there. So why use the Java Paas? Because it's easy. It's so easy for you to actually create an environment, to manage it and deploy it, and also to scale it and also to terminate it when you're done with it. So for development and stuff like that, and the projects, the life cycle of your application, it works really, really good. So Jelastic is actually the platform for the easy part that we will show you today, and we are actually going live with this platform here at JFocus these days. So it's now we're in the beta phase, and that will be going on a few weeks here in February, and then we will go fully live in a few weeks here. So it's very interesting exciting for us to actually show you this, and that we're able to implement it, to have it ready for the JFocus days here. And it's not only we that actually likes it. Last year it got the Duke's Choice Award for Technology Leader, the Jelastic platform. So that's very interesting as well. So, go to the demo. So when you sign up, you always get at least 2 weeks of that is absolutely free for you. So you can just sign up, test, create environments, see if it actually fits your needs, and if you don't like it, you don't have to pay. So it's fully cloud-based. This is just the interface that you will meet when you log in. So the first step you would actually do is just create an environment. And here is the application service. You just choose the one you like the most, your preferences. You will have Glassfish, Jetty, and Tomcat 6 and 7 support. And you also choose the Java version you want to use. So say we choose Tomcat 7, Java 7, and then you just choose the number of nodes. And you can have up to 32 nodes in parallel. And as soon as I choose more than one node, you automatically get an Nginx load balancer in front of the machine. So you get evenly load balance for both the high availability and also for scalability. Then we have something called cloudlets. And this is the amount of resources you want to be able to be available on each node. So you can just drive this up from, you can have from 1 up to 256. And each cloudlet is 128 megabytes of RAM and 200 megahertz of CPU power. And the limit you set here is just the maximum. So the way you pay for it is all elastic. So even if you have a maximum of 256, but you're only using one, then you're only paying for one. Whoops. Can remove that, right? Okay. And so let's say that we just choose about this. And then you see here a summary here. So each node will have a bit more than 4 gigabytes of RAM and 6.8 gigahertz of CPU power. Then you choose the database. So normal SQL databases, we have MariaDB, MySQL, or Postgres. Or if you like NoSQL, we have MongoDB and CouchDB. So this, we keep adding on support for different databases and application service. So I believe the next application service available will be JBoss, I believe. And let's see, and you can add a build node. You can integrate a Maven 3 build node. So that can fetch your code from your repository via Git or SVN integration directly and just publish the code. You can add SSL. You can both use the shared SSL that we provide, or you can upload your own SSL certificates with a full, your completely custom URL. And there's also available for a standard virtual server for if you have some kind of server function that is not Java-based, mail server or anything, and you want to host that in the same environment, you can just enable that. So when we're done, you can just create a name for this. Call this JFocus, for example, and then we just create it. So, and that process takes 2 minutes, between 1 minute and 2 minutes, and then you have a full server environment with the databases and the load balancer and everything is up and running. So here I have 2 environments created before. So if I go down to, for example, I can expand this so I can see the nodes that I have in this environment. So if I go to the Tomcat nodes here, for example, then you have configuration. So I can actually load the configuration for the Tomcat for the normal. So for server, let's see here for server XML, for example. So I get the server configuration there. So if I need to do any changes to that, you can actually do that. It will automatically hit all the nodes. So when you push save, that will be committed on all the nodes in the cluster. So you always have a consistent configuration on all of the nodes. You can also see the performance. So you can get a performance graph on all the nodes in the cluster. So this is, and you can also do a drill down, so you can see each node and see how much load that specific node has. And it's the same thing for all the server, for Nginx, for example. You can change the configuration there as well. So you can do your own modifications and load balancing algorithms and stuff like that. And if you look at MariaDB, for example, here in this example, same thing here, configuration files. You have also the log files available for each instance, also, of course, the application surface and stuff. And you can also do it directly here, open in browser, and then you get the admin access to that machine. So as soon as an environment is created or a database is created, it just sends you the information for logging and everything. So you can create the databases, do exports and imports of data and so on. So in a whole environment then, and I think it's pretty neat as well, because you can have multiple environments, see that you use one for production and then you use one for test, for example. And then you deploy the new code on the test environment, see everything is working fine. Then instead of doing with DNS or something, switching, that's not very predictable, we say you have a lagging and stuff like that, you can just swap domains. So with this environment, I can just swap the domain name with another environment for the JFocus one, for example, that I created. So then we can have just called www, and then they have www.test that you did all the testing on. And you just switch them, and then your test environment is the new production environment. And the old production environment, you can choose to whatever you like. You can use it for the new test environment, or you can just delete it. You can also stop environments. This one is running. If I stop it here, everything, all nodes is shut down, so you don't pay for anything. You don't have to. The only thing you're paying for is actually the storage capacity that is required for actually storing the machines. Otherwise, you can just leave it there. If the development environment is great, because then you can just start it up and continue to develop when you have a new project. So, and there's also this cloning feature. So if you want to have multiple, or you have an environment that you actually want to keep, or you can also use it for backup, you could just clone the full environment to a new environment and use it for test, or use it as a backup for if you are going to do something else that you're not certain of in the full production. You can just start it up, switch domain, and then you're back. Account management, something else. You can just add the accounts for your colleagues. So you can give them access to the same environment. So if you have a team, you can say, okay, I create an environment, add the guys should have access. It gets automatically mailed out for them with a username and account, and everything can work. You can all work together. Everything is also elastic. So you just pay for the resources you use, and the cost for it is actually very cheap. I think the standard price for this is around 2 cents per CPU, this cloudlet part that you pay for. And that's actually very price competitive, even compared to Amazon Web Services. And we host this in Sweden, and I think the great deal with just the Elastic part is actually that we host this, it's the same service everywhere in the world, so there's a number of hosting providers that actually provide this service around the world. We do it here in Sweden. There are a number of one out there, so if you start in Sweden and don't want to go international, you just have the code and deploy it on the different sites, and you're up and running. Yeah, I actually didn't show you that one. This is how you deploy. So you have your code there, packaged in a var file, and I can take this, for example, and I just choose the environment I want to deploy it on. So deploy it on this environment, for example, or I can take the JFocus one that we just created. JFocus, and can choose the context, either root or just another context. Deploying that, and that actually deploys it then on all the application nodes. So if you have 32 nodes, it will be deployed on all the 32 nodes there. So now before it's deployed, I can just launch it. You see it's still the Apache Tomcat one, the standard. But as soon as this is deployed, I will actually get the code that we deploy. Just a second. Let's see if it's there. Then it's deployed. Then you can launch it in the browser. And then, of course, it's cached. Sorry about that. Ah, wrong environment, that's why. So, deployed. Quite easy. And when you're done, you don't want it anymore, then you just go in and you can delete the whole environment like this. For security reasons, add your password. And it's deleted in a few seconds. So, that's it. 15 minutes goes fast. And yeah.
Thank you, Joachim. Are there any questions?
Yeah, there is an, for integration, you mean, for example, system for automating against this?
Yeah, or maybe integrating with web services, synchronizing data or something.
Well, it's, for example, there is an API available. So you can, if you have other systems that you would, in the deployment process, want to automate even this, you can do it using the APIs.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Any more questions? Hands up.
It's pretty easy, so no more questions.
Okay, thank you, Joachim.
Thank you.